Gabby Petito was a 22-year-old woman full of life, creativity, and dreams of traveling the world. She had a passion for documenting her adventures online, sharing them with friends and followers through photos and videos. In the summer of 2021, Gabby embarked on what was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime, a cross-country van journey with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. Before we dive deep into this shocking case, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of our true crime stories, where we uncover the hidden truths behind the headlines. To many, it looked like a love story unfolding on the open road. But soon, those idyllic snapshots would transform into the center of one of the most talked about true crime cases of the decade. Gabby grew up in Blue Point, New York, surrounded by family and close friends who adored her. She was described as free-spirited, gentle, and endlessly caring. Her relationship with Brian had begun years earlier, and the two seemed inseparable, often described as soulmates. Together, they decided to quit their regular lives for a while and take a trip across the United States, documenting everything on social media. At first, their followers saw only happiness, laughter, and breathtaking landscapes. But behind the scenes, the reality was far more complicated. In July 2021, the couple set off in a converted white Ford Transit van, traveling through states like Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming. Gabby carefully curated posts for Instagram and YouTube, presenting a picture-perfect adventure. She dreamed of building a career as a travel influencer, and this road trip was meant to be the beginning of that dream. Friends and family encouraged her, proud of her courage to chase such an ambitious goal. But soon, tiny cracks began to appear in the story she was trying to share online. On August 12, 2021, a disturbing incident was captured by police body cameras in Moab, Utah. A witness had reported seeing Gabby and Brian arguing outside their van, describing what appeared to be a physical altercation. When officers arrived, Gabby was visibly upset, crying uncontrollably, while Brian seemed calm, almost detached. The police separated them for the night, but did not file charges. That footage would later haunt the investigation, raising questions about whether authorities had missed a crucial chance to intervene. After the Moab incident, Gabby continued to post on social media, but her messages seemed less frequent and less natural. Friends noticed that some of the captions didn't sound like her usual tone, as if someone else might have written them. Her last Instagram post, dated August 25th, showed her smiling in front of a mural in Ogden, Utah. At first glance, nothing seemed unusual, but to her loved ones, there was something off, a feeling they couldn't quite explain, like the photo didn't capture the real Gabby anymore. The last time Gabby spoke directly to her family was on August 25th. During a phone call with her mother, Nicole Schmidt, she sounded happy, describing their latest stop in Wyoming. Nicole didn't notice anything alarming in her daughter's voice. However, in the following days, text messages from Gabby's phone began to raise red flags. One message referred to her grandfather by the wrong name, something she would never do. Nicole instantly felt that something wasn't right, as if those texts weren't truly from Gabby at all. By early September, Gabby's parents grew increasingly worried. They had not heard her voice again, only receiving a handful of strange, brief texts. When calls went unanswered and no video chats took place, the alarm bells rang louder. On September 11th, 2021, Nicole reported Gabby missing to authorities in Suffolk County, New York. The case was quickly transferred to the FBI, given that Gabby had last been seen out west. Almost overnight, the story exploded across social media, with millions following every update. What made Gabby's disappearance even more suspicious was Brian's behavior. On September 1st, 10 days before she was officially reported missing, Brian had returned to his parents' home in Northport, Florida, driving the white van alone. He offered no explanation about Gabby's whereabouts, refused to answer questions, and quickly hired an attorney. To the public, his silence spoke louder than words. As the days went by, protests erupted outside the Laundrie family home, with people demanding answers. The FBI began piecing together Gabby's last known movements. Witnesses came forward saying they had seen the couple arguing in restaurants and campsites. One couple claimed they gave Brian a ride on August 29th near Coulter Bay, Wyoming, where he acted strangely and avoided talking about Gabby. Investigators retraced every step, but the vast wilderness of Wyoming made the search incredibly difficult. Volunteers, true crime enthusiasts, and everyday citizens started scouring social media for clues, determined to help find her. As the search intensified, the case captured the world's attention. Hashtags like the Find Gabby Petito trended across platforms, and major news networks provided daily coverage. For many, Gabby had become more than just a missing person. She symbolized the dangers that young women face and the power of social media to bring cases into the spotlight. Her family begged for answers, holding on to hope that she was still alive. But behind the scenes, investigators were already preparing for a far darker outcome. On September 19th, 2021, after days of relentless searching, authorities made a heartbreaking discovery. In a remote area of the Bridger-Teton National Forest in Wyoming, investigators found human remains matching Gabby's description. Just 2 days later, the FBI confirmed what her family already feared. It was Gabby. The coroner determined that her death was a homicide. For the world watching, the case had shifted from a desperate missing person search into a murder investigation. Now the spotlight turned even more intensely toward Brian Laundrie. Almost immediately, the question on everyone's mind was, where was Brian? Just days before Gabby's body was found, his parents told police he had gone hiking in a nearby Florida reserve and never returned. This so-called hike took place on September 13th, but they hadn't reported him missing until September 17th. The suspicious delay raised countless questions. Many accused the Laundries of protecting their son, giving him a head start to disappear before authorities could confront him about Gabby's death. The search for Brian became a nationwide spectacle. Swarms of FBI agents, police, and even bounty hunters scoured the swamps of the Carlton Reserve in Florida. The terrain was treacherous, filled with gators, snakes, and waist-high water. Despite the extensive search, Brian remained nowhere to be found. Every day, news helicopters flew over the area, capturing images of search crews, while the public debated whether he was really hiding there or had slipped away unnoticed. At the same time, investigators uncovered chilling details about Gabby's final moments. The autopsy revealed she had died of strangulation, her body left in the wilderness for weeks before being discovered. The brutality of her death shocked the public, who had once admired the seemingly romantic road trip she shared online. Experts began analyzing the dynamics of her relationship with Brian, pointing to the Moab body cam footage as a missed warning sign that the situation had been escalating toward violence. Social media continued to fuel the case. Internet detectives dissected every video, photo, and post the couple had shared, looking for hidden signs of abuse. Gabby's story became a symbol for victims of domestic violence, sparking discussions across the country about how controlling behavior can escalate into lethal outcomes. The fact that Gabby's case gained such massive attention also drew criticism. Many pointed out that countless missing women, especially women of color, never received the same media coverage. Weeks passed, and the pressure on Brian's family grew unbearable. Protesters camped outside their home, chanting for justice and demanding that his parents cooperate. The Laundries remained silent, protected by their attorney. This silence only fueled speculation that they knew more than they admitted. Meanwhile, the FBI released search warrants revealing that Brian had used Gabby's debit card after her death, withdrawing money while she lay lifeless in Wyoming. The evidence against him was piling up. Finally, On October 20th, 2021, authorities made another discovery. In a previously flooded section of the Carlton Reserve, they found Brian's backpack, notebook, and skeletal remains. The medical examiner confirmed his identity through dental records. The revelation stunned the world. After weeks of speculation and nationwide manhunts, the man everyone believed responsible for Gabby's death had been found dead himself. But his death did not bring closure. Instead, it opened the door to even more questions. Inside Brian's dry bag, investigators recovered a handwritten confession in his notebook. In it, he admitted to killing Gabby, claiming it had been an act of mercy after she supposedly suffered from an injury. The explanation, however, was met with outrage. To the public and to Gabby's family, it was nothing but a cowardly attempt to justify the unjustifiable. His words painted a disturbing portrait of manipulation and control, aligning with the patterns of abuse many had suspected all along. With Brian's death, the criminal case ended, but the emotional aftermath for Gabby's family had just begun. Her parents became outspoken advocates for victims of domestic violence, using Gabby's story to raise awareness. They filed lawsuits against the Moab Police Department, arguing that officers failed to properly respond during the August traffic stop, a moment that could have changed the outcome. Their mission was clear: to make sure no other family would suffer the same fate. The story of Gabby Petito remains one of the most tragic and widely publicized true crime cases in recent memory. What started as a young woman chasing her dream of adventure ended in heartbreak, betrayal, and loss. But through the sorrow, her legacy continues, sparking global conversations about intimate partner violence, media bias, and the power of social media in solving crimes. Gabby's voice may have been silenced, but her story continues to echo, urging the world to pay attention to the warning signs that too often go unnoticed. Gabby's story is a painful reminder of how quickly love can turn into tragedy. If this case moved you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We uncover new true crime stories every week, giving voice to the victims and exposing the truths that should never be forgotten.